On a chilly October evening, bright piano notes flowed from a Victorian-style house nestled in a quiet Chicago suburb. Lauren Wilson, reviewing accounting ledgers on the living room sofa, frowned as she glanced at the clock. "Chloe, that's enough. Can you help with dinner preparations?" The piano stopped, and a 12-year-old girl turned around with slumped shoulders. The sunset reflected off Chloe's tan skin, and her curly hair, inherited from her mother, shimmered golden. "Just a little longer. I need this piece for tomorrow's dance lesson." Lauren smiled gently. "All right. Just 5 more minutes. I'll prepare the salad in the meantime." While standing in the kitchen, Lauren listened to her daughters playing. It was a Chopin nocturne. Chloe was a shy, quiet child, but in the world of music and dance, she became a different person, vibrant and alive. As Lauren worked with her knife, memories of her ex-husband Marcus drifted through her mind. They had separated when Chloe was 5. Marcus now lived in California with his new family and only occasionally spoke with Chloe by phone. The sound of the front door opening interrupted Chloe's piano playing. "I'm home," a cheerful male voice called out. "Dad!" Chloe exclaimed with unusual enthusiasm, rushing to the entryway. Ryan, while removing his navy blue business suit jacket, caught his stepdaughter with one arm as she leaped toward him. 5 years ago, he had fallen in love with Lauren, his colleague at the accounting firm, and married her. Since then, he had become Chloe's father figure, showering her with the same love as if she were his biological daughter. "How was your day? Is dance practice coming along?" Ryan asked, gently stroking Chloe's head. "Yes, Ms. Martha gave me a special lesson. She's letting me dance a solo part in next month's recital." Lauren poked her head out from the kitchen, saying, "I hadn't heard about that. Ms. Martha recognizes your talent." Despite her pleased expression, a faint anxiety spread through her heart. Chloe was sensitive to pressure and nervous about dancing in front of large audiences. Gathered around the dinner table, the three discussed the day's events. Ryan enthusiastically talked about negotiations with a new client, while Lauren complained a bit about the increased responsibilities from her recent promotion. Chloe ate quietly, occasionally smiling at their conversation. "By the way, I heard from Martha," Lauren said, setting down her wine glass. "She wants Chloe to participate in a dance camp." Chloe's eyes widened. "Really? When?" "This coming weekend. Friday through Sunday at a resort near Lake Michigan." "I want to go," Chloe exclaimed, raising her voice unusually. "Is everyone going? Jessica and Amy too?" "Yes, all the studio students have been invited." "But..." Lauren hesitated. "It's 2 nights and 3 days. You've never been away from home before. Will you be okay?" Chloe shrugged. "I'll be fine. I'm not a little kid anymore." Ryan smiled. "That's right, you're a proper young lady now. But if you get homesick, just call us. We'll come get you right away." Lauren gave her husband a grateful look. He always understood Chloe's feelings and helped her take new steps forward. Unlike her ex-husband. "By the way," Ryan said, turning to Chloe, "the camp expenses are my gift to you. I couldn't get you anything for your birthday, remember? It overlapped with my business trip." Chloe nodded happily. "Thank you, Dad." That night, after Chloe had gone to bed, Lauren and Ryan relaxed in the living room. "Do you really think she'll be all right?" Lauren asked anxiously. "Chloe is still so young. And I wonder if she'll get along with the other children." Ryan pulled Lauren closer to him. "She'll be fine. Chloe loves dancing. And she's trying to break out of her shell little by little. I think this camp will be a good opportunity for her." Lauren exhaled deeply. "I suppose you're right. For her to grow, I need to let go a little. Besides," Ryan smiled meaningfully, We'll have some time to ourselves for the first time in ages. I'll be back in Chicago, and you said you could leave work early that day, right? Lauren rested her head on her husband's chest and smiled.
Can you imagine making $10,000 a month just from YouTube, all from home? That's exactly what I did with Reddit Stories. No face, no voice. Check the link in the description if you're curious.
Yes. We should make some nice plans. She looked out the window. Moonlight illuminated the garden, with tree shadows swaying gently. While happy about Chloe's growth, Lauren felt an inexplicable anxiety in her heart. Still, thinking about the upcoming weekend, she believed it would be wonderful. Chloe would enjoy her first camp with new friends, and Lauren herself would have a quiet time with her beloved husband, free from work. There shouldn't be any problems. On Friday afternoon, Lauren left the accounting firm at the unusually early hour of 5 o'clock. An important client meeting had ended sooner than expected, and when her colleague Jeanette winked saying, "Lucky you, go home early," Lauren felt slightly embarrassed. She couldn't hide her excitement about having the evening alone with Ryan. While driving, she put her smartphone on hands-free mode and called Chloe. It went to voicemail. Lauren figured she was probably absorbed in camp activities. "Honey, it's Mom. Are you enjoying camp? Let me know right away if you need anything. Love you." After leaving the message, she hesitantly decided to call Martha Collins. Martha answered after the second ring. "Hello, this is Martha." "Martha, it's Lauren Wilson. I'm sorry, I might be worrying too much, but is Chloe doing all right?" "Oh, Lauren," Martha's voice was bright and reassuring. "Chloe is wonderful. She showed magnificent dancing in today's workshop. They're all taking a walk by the lakeside now. Don't worry, she's having a good time." Lauren sighed with relief. "Thank you. It's her first time away from home, and I was a bit concerned." "I understand. But don't worry. I'll contact you immediately if anything happens." After hanging up, Lauren smiled wryly at her overprotective tendencies. Chloe was indeed shy, but she had gradually been opening up with her dance friends. This camp would be an important step for her. Upon arriving home, Lauren showered and began preparing a special dinner. She smiled when she received a message that Ryan had boarded his return flight from New York. In 2 hours, he would be home. Soft jazz music filled the house while she cooked salmon fillets and steamed asparagus in the kitchen. Lauren took a sip of wine, enjoying the pleasant quietness. Usually, the house was filled with the sounds of Chloe's piano practice and her movements. Part of her as a mother felt the emptiness of her daughter's absence, but as a woman, she also felt the joy of having intimate time with her husband. By 7:30, there was still no word from Ryan. Perhaps a weather delay at Chicago O'Hare International Airport. Just as Lauren was about to call, a message arrived from him. "Flight severely delayed. Will take another hour at least. Go ahead and eat. Love you." Lauren, slightly disappointed but understanding, sent a reply. She ate dinner alone by candlelight, then read a book in the living room with a glass of wine. After 10 o'clock, she had begun to doze off from fatigue. Suddenly, the sharp ringtone of her cell phone broke the silence. Lauren jumped up and reached for the phone. Martha Collins' name appeared on the screen. Her heart skipped a beat. A call from the camp supervisor at this hour was a sign that something was wrong. "Martha? What's wrong?" Her voice was tense. From the other end came heavy breathing and faint sobbing. "Lauren." Martha's voice trembled. "I'm sorry, please come right away. Please." Cold fear ran through Lauren's body. Did something happen to Chloe? Is she hurt? Sick? "Martha, talk to me." "Chloe is, she is." Martha's voice was breaking. "She's okay. Physically fine. But, please, I want to talk in person. Over the phone is." I'm coming right now. I'll be there in 30 minutes, Lauren was already standing, putting on a cardigan. Where are you? Tell me the exact location. Martha gave the camp facility address and again pleaded, please hurry. After hanging up, Lauren left a voice message for Ryan. Honey, I got an emergency call from Martha. Something's happened with Chloe. I'm heading to the camp facility. I don't know the details, but I'll call when I get there. Driving down the dark road, terrifying scenarios appeared and disappeared in Lauren's mind. Martha had said, physically fine, but what did that mean? A mental issue? Bullying? Or, was it something even more frightening? As she approached the lake, the roads became more winding with fewer streetlights. Following the GPS instructions, Lauren turned onto a narrow, unpaved road. Pine trees cast eerie shadows in the moonlight. After the final curve, Lauren spotted a large wooden lodge. Several cars were parked in the lot, and some windows were lit, though most rooms were dark. The children were probably already asleep. As she got out of her car, the front door opened, and Martha rushed out. Her usually perfectly arranged hair was disheveled, and her red, swollen eyes showed she had been crying. Lauren, thank you for coming, Martha said in a hushed voice. What happened? Where's Chloe? Lauren asked desperately. Martha took her hand and squeezed it tightly. Her hand was cold and trembling. She's with her friends. She's okay. But there's something I want you to see, Martha's voice was unsteady. No matter what, please love Chloe, she's very frightened. Lauren's anxiety peaked. Martha, tell me clearly. What's going on? Martha took a deep breath and looked straight into Lauren's eyes. Rather than me explaining, you should see for yourself. Follow me. She led Lauren into the building. The hallway was dimly lit, with all the children's room doors closed. They headed toward a communal area and stopped in front of a small conference room. The door was ajar, with faint voices coming from inside. Martha squeezed Lauren's hand firmly and said, "Stay calm, but please look into that room." With her breath caught, Lauren carefully peered through the half-open door. Her heart was pounding violently in her chest. In the conference room, several cushions were arranged in a circle on the floor, with Chloe and 3 classmates sitting on them. A soft lamp like a candle was placed in front of them, casting a pale light on the children's faces. The first thing Lauren noticed was Chloe's red, swollen eyes. She had clearly been crying. Next to her sat Jessica and Amy, her usual companions, and one boy, Lauren couldn't remember his name. All 4 had serious expressions, seemingly engaged in an important conversation. Anger flared in Lauren's chest. Was this a bullying scene? Had they found Chloe's weakness and were tormenting her? But looking more carefully, the other children's attitudes didn't seem aggressive toward Chloe. Rather, they appeared to be supporting and empathizing with her. But if I tell Mom, she'll be angry. Chloe's small voice drifted from the room. Lauren caught her breath. What couldn't you tell Mama? Her worst fears began to surface. You absolutely have to tell her, the boy, Thomas, she remembered his name now, said. My cousin went through the same thing, but after talking to his parents, he said it got much better. But how can I say it? Chloe's voice trembled. Mom, I want to be a boy. She won't understand. Lauren felt her knees shake. Had she misheard? She leaned against the wall for support. If you feel like a boy, that's who you really are, Amy said gently. My sister's friend couldn't tell anyone at first either, but now she's happy. But what about dance? Chloe's voice was filled with anxiety. The kids at school say boys don't do ballet. That's a lie, Thomas said firmly. My dance teacher, Mr. Jenkins, is a man, and he's really good. Even the New York ballet companies have male dancers. Chloe showed a slightly brighter expression. Really? Of course. Jessica nodded enthusiastically. We're your friends. Nothing will change that. Chloe took a deep breath. I've always wanted to be a boy. I feel like my body is different. Since I was little. I can't tell Mom. I don't think she'll understand. Lauren quietly backed away. Her vision began to blur, and her mind was confused. Her little girl, her dear Chloe. She couldn't understand. She met Martha's eyes in the hallway. Martha's expression mixed sympathy and concern. She quietly took Lauren's arm and led her away from the conference room. I overheard by chance, Martha explained in a low voice. After dinner, I saw the children gathering secretly. At first, I thought they might be up to some mischief, but... She broke off. When I heard Chloe opening up to her friends. I thought you should know. Lauren collapsed into a chair. Her mind was a whirlwind of confusion. Chloe wants to be a boy. What does that mean? She's only 12. Is this just temporary confusion, or... How long has... Lauren asked Martha in a hoarse voice. I just found out tonight, Martha said quietly. But, looking back, there might have been some signs. Chloe always disliked feminine costumes. Even when choosing outfits for dance recitals, she avoided the ones with frills and sequins that other girls enjoyed. Lauren held her head. Yes, Chloe had preferred playing with Ryan's old baseball glove over dolls since she was young. She hated dresses and always chose jeans and t-shirts. But Lauren had thought it was just her tomboy nature. As many girls are. Should I talk to her? Lauren asked uncertainly. Martha appeared deep in thought. Honestly, I don't know. I'm a dance teacher, not an expert on these matters. But if you want my opinion. She was choosing her words carefully. Tonight, it might be best to wait until she's ready to talk on her own. Chloe managed to confide in her friends. That's a big step. I think you should let her tell you in her own time, in her own words. Lauren nodded slowly. Martha's words made sense. However, her maternal instinct wanted to rush over, hug her daughter, and say, "It's okay, I love you no matter what." But was that really the right approach? She needed to balance her own confused emotions with what Chloe needed. Then I'll stay here tonight, Lauren decided. Tomorrow, I'll take her home. And, think about what to do. Martha sighed with relief. There's a vacant room. I'll tell Chloe you arrived late and we'll have breakfast with her tomorrow. This way, she won't be upset. Lauren tried to show a grateful smile, but couldn't manage it. Her heart was heavy, and her head full of questions. Thank you, Martha, for telling me, she forced out. I think you did the right thing. Martha lightly squeezed Lauren's hand. Chloe is a wonderful child. Talented, brave, and honest. She'll be happy, with an understanding mother like you. Lauren felt tears welling up at those words. Could she really understand? She was confused. Scared. But one thing was certain, she loved Chloe. And that love wouldn't change. As Martha guided Lauren to a small guest room, she looked back one last time at the room where Chloe and her friends were. Their faint voices. For children empathizing with and supporting each other. Her daughter had found understanding from her friends. That was at least reassuring. Left alone in the room, Lauren sat on the edge of the bed and took out her cell phone. There were several missed calls from Ryan. She took a deep breath and called him. The moment she heard Ryan's voice, the emotions that had built up inside her poured out. Honey, she said in a trembling voice. We need to talk about Chloe. Sunday afternoon, Lauren and Chloe were heading home in a quiet car. Outside the window, Lake Michigan's blue waters reflected the sunlight, creating a dazzling brilliance. For the remainder of the camp, Lauren hadn't said anything to Chloe. Following Martha's advice, she was waiting for her daughter to be ready to talk on her own. "Did you have fun?" Lauren attempted to start a natural conversation. "Yes," Chloe's reply was short, her gaze fixed outside the window. Silence spread through the car again. Lauren recalled her long phone conversation with Ryan. Though surprised, he had taken it calmly. "Whatever Chloe feels, she remains our child," he had said. "All we can do is love and support her." Entering the suburban neighborhood of Chicago, the car stopped in front of their Victorian-style house. Ryan was waiting at the entrance. "Dad!" Chloe jumped out of the car and hugged him. "Welcome back, champion," Ryan smiled as he lifted her up. "How was camp? Did you learn any new techniques?" Chloe nodded happily and went into the house, talking about dance. Lauren took the bags from the trunk and approached her husband. They gazed at each other silently, and Ryan gently embraced her shoulders. "Are you okay?" he asked softly. "I don't know," Lauren answered honestly. "But we'll manage, we have to." That evening, after Chloe had gone to bed early, Lauren and Ryan talked over wine in the living room. "When do you think we should talk to her?" Lauren asked anxiously. "No need to rush," Ryan said cautiously. "Let's wait until she's ready. But we shouldn't wait too long either. She thinks we don't know anything, so she might be living with fear and anxiety." The next day, Chloe went to school, and Lauren worked from home. However, she couldn't concentrate on work. Her mind was full of thoughts about Chloe. In the afternoon, she was searching on her study computer for terms like children and transgender, and children's gender identity. The more she read, the more she understood Chloe's behavior over the past few years. Disliking girly clothes. Repeatedly asking to cut her hair short. Preferring to play with boyfriends. Preferring to be called mama rather than mother. All of these might have been indicating something. When Chloe returned from school, Lauren had made up her mind. She watched Chloe do her homework and prepared dinner. Ryan had messaged that he would be late from work. Tonight, it would be just the two of them. Chloe, after finishing dinner, Lauren encouraged her daughter to sit on the living room sofa. "I'd like to talk about something." Chloe sat down, looking tense. "What? Did I do something wrong?" "No, not at all," Lauren smiled softly. "I just want to know about you." "About what?" Lauren took a deep breath. "Is there anything you want to talk about lately? You can tell me anything. I'm your mom, and I'm on your side no matter what." Chloe's eyes widened, and her body froze. "Nothing, really." Lauren took Chloe's hand. "Honey, I love you. No matter what you feel, no matter who you want to be, that won't change. You're my child. My beloved child." Tears welled up in Chloe's eyes. "Mom, do you know?" Lauren nodded quietly. "At the camp, Ms. Martha accidentally overheard your conversation with your friends, and told me." The color drained from Chloe's face. I. She stumbled over her words. "You don't have to force yourself to talk," Lauren said gently. "I just don't want you to suffer alone if you're struggling. We're family. We can overcome anything together." Tears fell from Chloe's eyes. "You're really not angry." "I'm not angry at all," Lauren said firmly. "I'm surprised, and I might not fully understand yet. But I'm not angry. I love you." Chloe began to tremble slightly, and suddenly, she threw herself into her mother's arms. Her small body shook as she broke down crying. "Mom. I'm a boy," she said through her tears. "I've always felt that way. But I couldn't say it. I thought everyone would laugh. I thought I wouldn't be able to continue dancing." Lauren held her daughter tightly, feeling tears on her own cheeks. It's okay. You can be who you are. Nothing will change. That night, they talked for a long time. Chloe explained when she first felt different and what fears and anxieties she had been carrying. Lauren listened, occasionally asking questions, and above all, tried to understand. What do you want to do? Lauren finally asked. What would make you comfortable? Chloe thought for a moment and said, a name. I want to be called by a different name. A boy's name. What name would you like? A small smile appeared on Chloe's face. Kyle. I took it from Dad's middle name. Lauren returned the smile. Kyle, that's a lovely name. They discussed many other things. Clothes, school, how to tell friends and relatives. There were no easy answers, but they decided to tackle them one by one. Late at night, when Ryan returned home, he found his wife and stepchild cuddled together on the sofa, asleep. There were traces of dried tears on Lauren's face. Still, her expression held a peace he hadn't seen in a long time. The next morning, the three gathered around the breakfast table and talked as a family. Ryan didn't hide his emotions in front of Kyle, acknowledging his surprise and confusion while promising unconditional love and support. All right, Ryan finally said. Let's think about what to do together. We might need to visit a hospital. We can also consult specialists. But most importantly, Kyle, is that you feel comfortable and happy. We're always on your side. Tears glistened in Kyle's eyes. But they weren't tears of sadness, they were tears of liberation and relief. His face, freed from a burden carried for years, shone with a new light of hope. That afternoon, Kyle called Martha and told her he wanted to continue dancing. Martha gladly accepted him and suggested training as a male dancer. That night, Lauren stared at herself in the bedroom mirror. Her reflection was the same, but she herself had changed. She was now a mother with a son. Fear and anxiety were still there, but they were gradually being replaced by understanding and courage. Are you okay? Ryan stood behind her, placing a hand on her shoulder. Yes, Lauren smiled. We'll be fine. All of us together. On a fresh spring morning, Lauren was gazing out the window while making coffee in the kitchen. In the backyard, Kyle was playing basketball with Ryan. Lauren smiled at the sight of him with his short cropped hair and slightly oversized basketball shirt. 6 months had passed, and their lives were slowly finding a new rhythm. Kyle regularly met with a child psychologist and a gender specialist counselor, and had cautiously revealed his identity to selected friends at school. The teachers were cooperative, using his new name and allowing him to use the boys' locker room. Of course, not everything was smooth sailing. Sometimes there was a lack of understanding or cold stares, but with the family's support, Kyle was able to move forward positively. And above all, he continued dancing. Martha recognized his talent as a male dancer and had begun teaching him male techniques. Mom! Look! Kyle waved from the garden. I beat Dad. As Lauren was about to respond, the phone rang. It was from Martha. Lauren, I need to talk to you. Her voice was tense. Jeanette Harris is causing problems. Jeanette Harris was another mother from the dance studio and one of the few parents who couldn't accept Kyle's change. What happened? She's been telling other parents that Kyle should be excluded from the girls' class, Martha sighed. She plans to bring it up at next week's parent meeting. Anger boiled in Lauren's chest. But at the same time, she felt tired. Being constantly on the front lines of battle wasn't easy. I understand, she said, firming her resolve. I'll attend that parent meeting. The next week's parent meeting was filled with tension. Jeanette firmly asserted her position, talking about traditional values and children's confusion. Several heads were seen nodding. Lauren took a deep breath and stood up. Everyone, I am Kyle's mother, she said quietly but firmly. My child has felt uncomfortable in his body since birth. Can you imagine how much courage it took for him to reveal his truth to us? The room fell silent. Dance is his life. It's his passion, his joy. Why try to take that away? Shouldn't we be teaching understanding rather than division? When Lauren finished speaking, Martha stood up and supported her. Other parents, one by one, expressed their support as well. Finally, Jeanette's own daughter Emma quietly said, "Kyle is my friend. I want to dance with him." A few weeks later, Martha's studio launched an inclusive dance program that transcended gender. And in the seasonal recital, Kyle danced a solo with dignity. Watching from the wings, tears shone in Lauren's eyes. On the way home, Kyle excitedly said, "Did you see? Mom, did you see? I didn't make any mistakes." "I saw, honey," Lauren smiled. "I was so proud." Upon arriving home, Lauren took out a scrapbook. It contained photos from the past 6 months, a record of the transformation from Chloe to Kyle. His smile in the pictures grew brighter with each passing day. Ryan sat next to her and put his arm around her shoulder. "It's been a tough journey. But worth it," Lauren said quietly. While they sat, Kyle ran up the stairs to polish his new dance shoes. Tomorrow, a new day would begin again. New challenges might await, but now they were stronger as a family. And that was the most important thing.